Hello everyone, and welcome to our May 2026 Spanish mortgage market update. From me, Marc Elliott from Fluent Finance Abroad. We've got quite a lot to cover this month, including new lending options for Middle Eastern clients, tightening underwriting criteria from Spanish banks, higher loan-to-value mortgages for residents and non-residents alike, an update on our Spanish lifetime mortgage solution, Hipoteca Inversa, and of course, we'll take a look at current Euribor rates and the wider Spanish mortgage market outlook. We now have Spanish lending options available for GCC nationals and residents alike, which is particularly important considering the challenges and uncertainty currently affecting parts of the Middle East. For those unfamiliar with the GCC, this refers to the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. These countries include Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. Historically, obtaining a Spanish mortgage for clients from these regions has been extremely difficult through traditional high street Spanish lenders, especially when purchasing property in their own personal names, which many people prefer to do. In many cases, buyers were effectively forced into setting up Spanish company structures, simply just to comply with lender requirements. The good news is that these new lending options now allow Middle Eastern clients to comfortably purchase Spanish property in their own personal names without needing to set up complex and expensive corporate structures. Typical lending requirements for lending terms are currently around 60% loan to value, with repayment mortgages over a maximum term of 20 years. Now, interest rates are naturally a little bit higher than your standard Spanish high street lending, currently ranging approximately between 4.5% and 5%. However, there are also advantages attached to these products. For example, clients are generally not required to take additional linked mortgage products such as life insurance or private medical insurance, which can actually make their overall deal more cost-effective than compared with some mainstream Spanish lenders. Overall, this is very positive development for GCC-based buyers looking to secure property financing in Spain. We are continuing to see Spanish lenders tightening their lending criteria, and the main core reason for this being cited across the banking sector is the ongoing impact of Spanish LCCI mortgage regulations and Bank of Spain compliance requirements. In practical terms, what this means is that underwriters now have far less flexibility than they previously had when assessing more complex mortgage applications. As a result, properly preparing and packaging mortgage applications has become more important than ever. Complex applications absolutely need to be presented correctly in order to give borrowers the best possible chance of obtaining approval from the strongest high street retail lenders here in Spain. We are also seeing underwriting departments and risk teams taking more time to assess cases thoroughly before making lending decisions. So my advice to borrowers is simple. Please allow your broker enough time to properly fight your case and manage the process correctly. The reality is that all Spanish lenders report their mortgage activity directly to the Bank of Spain, and because of this, no quality lender offering strong rates and products is willing to take unnecessary regulatory risks. This is why using an experienced mortgage structuring and lender presentation matters so much in today's market. Now for some really good news for Spanish tax residents. We are now seeing mortgage options available for up to 90% loan to value for the purchase price for qualifying resident applications. And in some cases, if applicants are under the age of 35 and have a particularly strong financial profile, even 100% loan to value financing may be possible. Generally speaking, to be considered a Spanish tax resident for these products, lenders are typically looking for clients who have been living, working, and paying taxes in Spain for at least 3 years. This is a very positive development for younger buyers and long-term residents who may have strong income profiles but have struggled to accumulate large deposits. We see this all the time. We also have positive news for non-Spanish tax resident buyers as well. We now have access to a lender capable of reaching up to 75% loan to value for qualifying non-resident mortgage applicants. Now, it is important to mention that the interest rates are generally higher than those currently available from mainstream high street lenders, sitting at just over 4% per annum. However, for many international buyers, access to the higher leverage itself can make significant difference and may allow purchases that otherwise would not have been possible. That said, it is still worth noting that the strongest overall mortgage deals currently available for non-residents, particularly in terms of interest rates and product quality, are generally still found within the 60 to 70% loan to value range. So whilst higher leverage options are now becoming available, borrowers who can contribute a slightly larger deposit will usually gain access to more competitive pricing from mainstream Spanish lenders. As always, the right structure depends on the individual client's objectives, income profile, residency status, and overall financial position. A quick update regarding the Spanish lifetime mortgage, Hipoteca, Inversa that we offer. Things are progressing extremely well, and I'm very pleased to say that the first completed cases have now successfully gone through. We already received some fantastic feedback from customers who have taken out the lifetime mortgage product. And we've received some very positive Google reviews. For example, one married couple from Ibiza wrote, "Our experience with Fluent Finance Abroad has been excellent from beginning to end. They played a key role in successfully facilitating our equity release application process and completion. The team demonstrated a high level of expertise and took the time to explain each stage of the process very, very clearly. Their responsiveness and attention to detail ensured everything progressed smoothly, giving us peace of mind throughout. We are very appreciative of their support and would confidently recommend them to others seeking similar financial services." A Scandinavian client from Nueva Andalucía in Marbella said, "I was looking for a lifetime mortgage loan, and after getting a couple of other offers, I got in touch with Marc at Fluent Finance Abroad. They had by far the best offer, and I was met in a pleasant and professional manner. I would highly recommend Fluent Finance Abroad." Just as a reminder, to qualify for a Spanish lifetime mortgage, you must own a property in Spain, have been resident in Spain for at least 3 years, the property must be your primary residence, and there should not be a large existing debt secured against the property. For many retirees, this product can become a very useful retirement planning solution. And importantly, this is not a standard mortgage product. There are no monthly mortgage repayments required, which means there is no repayment pressure placed on the borrower during retirement. That point alone often removes one of the biggest concerns people initially have when hearing about equity release products. If you feel a lifetime mortgage could potentially help with your retirement planning in Spain, feel free to reach out for more information. Currently, the 12-month Euribor rates are sitting at approximately 2.79%, which is a slight increase compared with last month, but importantly still remains below the 3% level. Overall, that remains relatively positive news for the Spanish mortgage borrowers and applicants. Of course, the market is continuing to monitor global political developments very closely, particularly ongoing tensions in the Middle East and other geopolitical risks. Any significant escalation in global instability could place upward pressure on inflation and ultimately interest rates moving forward. So we at Fluent Finance Abroad will continue monitoring the market carefully over the coming months. As always, if you would like advice regarding Spanish mortgages, refinancing, equity release or international property financing in Spain, please feel free to contact Fluent Finance Abroad directly. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in next month's Spanish Mortgage Update.